Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith on this second day of April 2020, and this is the morning edition video forecast discussion. Okay, visible satellite coming up this morning. Here's our big coastal storm here out over the ocean south of Newfoundland and Maine and New England this morning. Many vortices wrapping around this upper level low. We'll show you that on Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale analysis in a few minutes. And on the backside, we already see some clouds forming here over the ridges and the mountains here into northwestern New Jersey and the New York City metropolitan area. In fact, if we go local here, I think we can pull this up. See if we can pull this up. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Sure we can. And we've got some clouds, some high cirrus and some cumulus clouds redeveloping over the area this morning on the west and northwest side of this storm. And we can already see a few of these showers here. Don't know whether this is ground clutter or not here, just east off of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario here. That may be ground clutter. I'm not so sure about this portion here. We are sure about this. This is some light, stable precipitation, mostly in the form of rain. It's cold rain, chilly, showery kind of day here across southern New England. And this is because of the wraparound vortexes that are wrapping around on the west side as this storm system retrogrades slowly west, or slowly west rather than east, because of the lock in the North Atlantic that we talked about yesterday. And this thing is going to spin around here for quite a while, probably until later tomorrow before something else begins to pick it up and heads it out to sea. Checking in with our friends here at the National Weather Service in Mount Holly in New York City this morning. All the land masses here, there's nothing going on. You really just worry about the oceans here with gale warnings extending out from about 20 to 40 nautical miles off the coast here, and small craft advisories in the bay, the Sound, and right along the New Jersey coast in the back bays here also. Shortly before 10 o'clock this morning, we have temperatures now that have rebounded from near freezing this morning in portions of Sussex County. They're in the low to the mid-40s right now. We've had some minimums this morning, obviously near freezing, so there could have been a little bit of patchy fog in some of the valleys here in northwestern New Jersey, but most areas escaped that, so your vegetation should be okay. See if they fixed the wind chill, and they did not. Rutgers did not do that. Let's take a look at our wind speeds. It's quite gusty out there this morning. We have wind speeds anywhere from 5 to 15 to 25 miles an hour right along the immediate coast, as you would naturally find with our differences in air pressure here and water temperatures here. Wind gusts, that's where it gets a little tricky. We've got gusts already in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range, and right along the coast, some of these gusts are exceeding 30 miles per hour, and it's only going to get more impressive here throughout the afternoon as the mixing of the sun and the thermal temperature gradient increases with height. Wanted to take a look at the low-level lapse rates right now, the temperatures in the atmosphere, the lower layers of the atmosphere. And right now, everything looks okay. It looks pretty stable, but as these clouds and the insolation of the sun work its way into the area over the next 6 hours, we can find lapse rates approaching 6.5 to 7 degrees Celsius, especially in northwestern New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley area, Connecticut. Even though the atmosphere is pretty dry, you can still have a spotty shower under this kind of domain if there's enough moisture wrapping around that's available here. But even a spotty shower with those kinds of lapse rates are still possible here and there during the afternoon. But most of the model guide in most areas will remain quite dry. Take a look at the national temperatures here. Quite cold again across the upper Midwest here into, well, the northern plains, western northern plains, Idaho, the Cascades, and of course southwestern Canada here as a result of the new storm system coming in, and just a cold pool aloft basically. Running in the 40s, 50s, get into Florida 60s this morning, so it's a little chilly. Not too bad for April the 2nd. Notice the big temperature change here across the Intermountain West, where temperatures over the last 24 hours have dropped down some 25 to, in spots, 30 degrees below where they were just 24 hours ago. Meanwhile, here in the eastern United States, temperatures have warmed up just a degree or two, and they've cooled down a degree or two in southern Florida, where my best friends live in West Palm Beach, and they've warmed up quite nicely, about 10 degrees plus here from the northern plains all the way down to Texas. National hazards this morning, again, we have across the tributaries here in the Ohio River Valley, Tennessee, Mississippi River Valley, different areas where there is still some flood warnings in effect. Meanwhile, the big story is our big storm system heading up towards the northern plains here. We've got a large swath of winter weather advisories and interior winter storm warnings down here through southern Colorado and New Mexico. This area has to be watched for very dry conditions, wind advisories, and very dry relative humidity values. So we're dealing with fire weather conditions in this area and portions of Arizona and California as well. Freeze warnings. That's interesting. Well, we're not looking at a lot of precipitation over the next 168 hours or 7 days from now across the eastern United States, excepting portions of Maine and out over the coastal waters with our low and stuff spinning around. The biggest areas here would be across the north here into Canada. And look at all of this rain and intermountain snow coming in with these storm systems, a parade of them, one after another here in California. So if you want wet and it's been dry, well, you're going to get out of this in a quick hurry. And also across the lower Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley area into Texas, this is where the rainfall is really going to start to accumulate over the next 7 days. Let's do your northern mid-Atlantic regional temperatures for today. Low to mid-50s. That's about normal for this time of the year. They should be around 55, 58 degrees. For tomorrow on Friday, again the same story, low to the mid-50s across the region, not too bad. Saturday, mid-50s, not bad, to around 60 in the Delmarva. We really warm it up a little bit on Sunday, April the 6th, upper 50s, low and mid-60s, so even the mid and upper 60s is possible around the Washington, D.C. area, so that's pretty nice for this time of the year. That's above normal. Monday, the 7th, we are extending temperatures into the 60s and near 70 throughout the region, so that's not too bad. And we continue on this trend on Tuesday, upper 60s to around 70 degrees again. And again on day 7, which is Wednesday of next week, looks good to me. Upper 50s to lower mid 60s, even maybe 70 or so in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. So not too shabby at all. Let's take a look at the water vapor channel here this morning. Low levels showing our upper low here. Well deepened low pressure area right here off the northwest Atlantic coast with many vortices running around it. We have a couple of vortices here, a couple of vortices here, got a lot of stuff. Upper level divergence. Here comes a big snow and rain event here in this area. And again, our somewhat quasi-stationary but still active subtropical jet stream. You can expect this to continue. And here's all the dry air with the sinking and convergence and confluence on the northwest side of our storm system off the Atlantic this morning. And of course, today I'm feeling a little bit more sad than normal, sadder than normal, I should say, or morose. One of our dear friends, Fountains of Wayne frontman and lead singer for our New Jersey, New York City-based band, which got their name from Fountains of Wayne, formerly in Fairfield, New Jersey. And the band Ivy in New York City has died after slipping into a coma. He'd been in an upstate New York hospital for about a week on a respirator, or ventilator actually, and he passed away yesterday. And he left a treasury of just beautiful music for us. So I'm very, very deeply sad about this. And of course, I'm going to do a couple of dedication songs on the music blog site during this afternoon. Very difficult to continue and function here with the weather for the rest of the forecast period. We'll take a look at the European model guidance right now. Here's our snow and rain across the northern plains here with our deep center of low pressure heading up towards Minnesota, and eventually into Canada here. We still have our block in the atmosphere. Notice how our storm is retrograding southwest, so there could be some spotty showers around the region later tonight and tomorrow morning, especially as you head towards the Hudson River Valley area, especially out on Long Island. New York City and interior New Jersey can't be ruled out either, although most of the energy will be focused near the coastlines as the storm retrogrades south and then out of here as a cold front approaches by Sunday, but the temperatures are warming up across most of the region with high pressure and control. Here's our new storm system getting into the west coast with intermountain snows and rain across Idaho, Washington, and California. Got some vestiges of moisture here along the Texas Panhandle. That will be heading out, probably most likely with warm air advection to the east as we approach Tuesday of next week, where another low pressure area across the Great Lakes slips in right behind it. And that could provide New England and portions of our area with some scattered showers, but doesn't look like a lot of precipitation is going to be falling in this area over the next 7 to 10 days. We get into Thursday of next week, another cold front and low approach the region with perhaps some showers, maybe some interior higher elevation snow showers as the front moves off the coast. And it's a very windy, stormy system. Look at what happens with this storm. According to the latest model guidance, it bombs out right over the top of Maine, and it turns everything from rain into heavy, wet snow. That doesn't look like it's going to get here, but the wind profile from this next weekend does. On the northwest side again, very strong gusty pressure gradient, tight pressure gradient, and strong gusty winds. Here comes the next storm through the Midwest, heading up again towards the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley area as we head into Sunday, April the 12th. So we do still have an active pattern, and by the way, we still do have a new storm system coming into the west coast as well. So an active pattern is on the way. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Was a favorite album of mine, Utopia Parkway from Fountains of Wayne, from a number of years ago, and I spent a lot of time coming back from the shore in the summer, and this was constantly in my CD deck, and played it to the hilt and higher. Such a great, great loss. He's remembered for all of the beautiful things he's done with Ivy and Fountains of Wayne, and of course all the television and video productions and things and side projects that Adam Schlesinger worked on. And he'll always be remembered in my heart, and many other people's as well, millions I'm sure, that appreciated his work. Adam was 52 years old, so it just goes to show you that the coronavirus doesn't care about your age. No. Well, on a day like today, and especially after hearing that kind of news, I just have to look up at the sky. We should all be looking up at the sky. We have to hold our heads up, and we will get through this. But unfortunately, there's going to be a lot more things that will be happening that will be unfavorable as we go through this pandemic worldwide, and especially here in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Have a very pleasant afternoon, the best one you can, and we'll be back either tonight or tomorrow morning. For GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm meteorologist Robert Smith.